Hey all, Jean here. Yeah, it is. I want to show you guys what is happening outside my window. It is snowing and it's snowing really, really heavy. And I have to go out in the snow in a few minutes. But I wanted to just do this video before I head out. So I decided to do a new office. So this is my window office. This is where you get to peep in and see my humble adores. See, this is my humble space where I live. Normally, I have a few little spots in the house where I do my videos, but this morning I choose to do it and give you the view from my window. Now, that's not the name of my video today. The name of my video is, starting over when you're supposed to be settled. That is going to be my topic for today. Starting over when you should be settled, when yeah, I should be settled by now, but no, I'm always starting over. So before I start, let me just show you how it's happening out here and what is happening out my window. So this is my window view, and I am what is yeah yeah, so this is my window view, sorry. And I'll just give you a little. So out there, you can tell that I clear off the snow from my car, but I have to do a better job. It's not the best. And if you look over here, like that is what it looks like outside. It is what they say it is, as white as snow, and they are not lying when when they say that. It is as white as snow out there today. I'm going to get you back here. Yeah, so let's go on with the topic about you know, starting over when you're supposed to be settled. And I honestly thought that I was already settled. I am in my 60s, of course. And I'm one of those people that is always rewriting my life. And I say rewriting my life because I am a lifelong learner. I love adventure. I love experiencing new things. And I love to, in a sense, I'm going to go out in this weather. I'm going to feel like I'm suffering. I'm a feeling person, I'm a person that has to feel life. So that means that I cannot sit around for it because I need to experience it and feel it and live quite fully. So all the times that I have started over, when I left Grenada in the 80s, very early, no, late 80s, I came to Canada. I start over then. Before leaving Grenada, I had a small breakdown in my life around, my mid 20s, early till mid 20s. So I would say around 24, somewhere around there. I had a breakdown and was put into an asylum for a little bit there. And just so you know, I wrote a book about my experience in the mental institution and the experience I have had among my Grenadian neighbors and friends and all of that. So I wrote a book called Secret of an Island Girl. You can find it on Amazon.ca. So it's Secret of an Island Girl, and it was written by Jean V. Roberts. Now the V is Veronica. And back then, I always just go by Jean Roberts. I don't use my middle name. But I think one of the reason why I put the V in there is because I was still kind of embarrassed about all the things that happened in my life, and I still was a little shame. But it is out there and it is in paperback, and you can get it on Amazon.ca. And it is called A Secret of an Island Girl. Secret of, not a, just Secret of an Island Girl. I mean, now I'm an older woman, but back then, I was a girl. And so I wrote the book to represent that. Anyways, after that, I learned a very valuable lesson. I think the biggest lesson I've learned in life, and it's a lesson that I've learned over and over and over again. I'm sure this is a lesson that you have learned as well, is this: no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Now, people can help you, they can support you, they can have your back, but they cannot save you. You know the old adage that they said, you can take a horse to water, you can bring a horse to the well, but you cannot make the horse drink, right? That is the idea of nobody is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Anyways, fast forwarding to this whole idea of rewriting myself, beginning again, starting over, there's always a starting point. When I arrived in Canada, my starting point was, I didn't have my papers, but I needed to find a job. Ultimately, what I ended up doing, I did the housekeeping for a while. I babysat for a while because, anyone would give you money under the table to look after their children because they underpaying you anyway and they cannot afford to pay more than underpay. So you find yourself in a situation where you're being underpaid. And I'm still in a situation where I'm underpaid, aren't we all? This is part of life, especially being a woman and especially being a Black woman in the world. We are making less than the white women. We are making less than the men. When you look at the poll, the men make the most than the white women, then, everybody else in the middle there. And I think that then there is when I went to university, I had did one of my rewriting, reinventing, re-beginning, beginning again process that I did when I turned 60, 61. I think I went to university. And I cannot say I went back to university because it was my first time in university. I spent a year there and I left. I'll tell you the story about it another time. But the whole idea of rewriting myself and going to university was, again, I am a lifelong learner. I like, having new experience, and I always had this dream of becoming one thing, and so I end up going back there. But anyways, while in Ontario, when I just arrived, I live in Ontario, and while there, I actually, eventually, what I did was I got a business card, and on the business card, it says Rose Cleaning Service, and I went around and put out my card and, become a house cleaning person. For many years, I did that until I got my papers. I went to, high school, and then I went to college, and I did all of that very late in life because I started high school at 34 and I went to college at 36. And then almost 30 years, is it 30 years later? 30, yeah, 30. Yeah, almost 30 years later. See, I cannot count. I end up in university. But as I say, that was a very short lived thing. And don't get me wrong, I have no regrets. I'm 100% happy that I went. And I am 100% happy that I didn't stay. The whole idea is that I am living without regrets. And that was one of my biggest thing. I needed to live without regrets. And so that's one of the way I live is I'm going to do the thing. And if when I'm doing it, I realize that's not what I have to do, that's not what is going to serve me, then I drop out of it. Now, this whole idea of starting over when you feel like you should be settled, I am coming to this in the sense that so last year, I go to the Caribbean a lot. Grenada. So this is where I'm from. I'm from Grenada. And I go there a lot, especially in the winter time. And this winter, I went down in October. And last winter, I went down at the end of October 2024. And I stayed until February of 2025. And then I went back in October of 2025. Now, while I was in Grenada, usually, as I say, I go there quite often. And for 10 years, I had a lover there. I have a young lover in Grenada that I've been seeing every time I go there on holiday. And I've gone there, I went in 2015 after my divorce here. I went in 2016. I went in 2017. I was there in 2018. I didn't make it in 2019. I was going to go in 2020, but we all know what happened in 2020. So I went in 2021, and then I came back in 2022, and then I went back in 2024, because I didn't go in 2023, obviously, because I was in university. Anyways, I went down, and of course, I see my lover, because this is someone I've been seeing for full on, almost 10 years now. No, what it is now, maybe it's more than 10 years. It's about 11 years now I've been seeing this person every time I go. And last year, I just thought, wow, I've been coming here every year, and my whole intention is to live without regret. So I'm going to ask this beautiful man that is my lover to be my husband, because guess what? He is this really amazing human being. And but he's living there. I for me, from my perspective, I felt like his life could be upgraded a bit, so I thought it would be a good idea to get married. And lo and behold, we did we elope. And and so now I'm back in Canada, and of course I'm trying to get him here now. I should already be settled, but instead, getting married mean that for my husband to come, I have to do all this process. We are in the process of him coming to see me. And in that process, it is, I'm not settled, guys. In that process, it is challenging. It is kind of hard. We have made time for each other. We talk to each other every single day. Um, almost everything is already set for him and ready to go. However, there is this one issue we have um, in Grenada, not here. So the issue is there because it would be fixed. Now, I'm speaking on the idea of settle instead of starting over, when I should be settled, because, this morning I had to get up quite early, at 6 o'clock, because there is a time difference there, and I have to call the people there that need to fix the problem that we have. And there is a bit of a X-ray problem. Actually, it's not a problem. All the things is done. Everything is 100% done. The problem that they have in there is to getting the stuff from there to send it here. Right there's a process, and it has to do with radiology and X-rays. So there's this process that they have to do. And what I found out is that there's only one doctor on the island that can sign that information, and he is away somewhere until the end of the month. And this has been going on now for 2 months. And the truth is, if you ask me, I should be settled. I want to be settled. But of course, because I want to live fully, and I want to have a full life, and I want to live, with excitement, and I want to live um, learning, and I want to live in the beauty of life. And I do love the idea of having companionship, having a partnership, having a husband that loves me, having someone that would ride with me, having a good friend to spend some of my life with. I understand that I'm older than this person, so ultimately I may have to say, yeah, I'm good, I'm done, but in the meantime, you know um loving someone doesn't have to be a crisis. Getting married at a later age when you didn't know that that was in the cards for you. Because I have to tell you, if someone had said to me, you're going to be getting married and you're going to spend a year going through this process, I would be like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not having it. It's not my life. I don't want it. But here is the thing: when you make a choice to live without regret, when you make that choice to live without regret, it means that you have to jump. You cannot stay on the ledge and be safe. You have to jump. You have to do the things that you always wanted to do. You have to take the step. You have to find a way. And this morning when I get up to make the phone call, the thing about making phone calls and talking to people in Grenada, there is always a middleman. And somehow you can never find the person that you need to be getting the information to, because there is some middle person that is like, I call them the gatekeeper. And this morning, I was not having the gatekeeper. I was like, excuse me, I am done talking to you guys. I want to talk to the person in charge. I want to talk to the person who can actually give me some information that I can comprehend, give me something that I can bite into, give me some information that I can live with. And ultimately, I got to talk to that person. And yes, I'm feeling a little bit relief. But this morning alone, I had to call the general hospital there. I had to call and the some X-ray technician over there. And then I had to call a different private doctor's office. And all of that just to get some information. And so I thought this topic about starting over when you're supposed to be settled. I feel like that is very much fitting for today, for me to chat on that today. Now, I'm hoping that all the work that we have done and all the energy that we have put in, I'm hoping that it all pays off quicker, sooner than later, because we have put so much time and effort and energy and money into this process. And so, so yeah, sometimes starting over is this is what it's like. And it may not feel comfortable, when you're beginning again, when you're doing something different, when you're rewriting the script, rewriting the book, it's not comfortable. It's never comfortable. And that's why you see there is more people sitting on their couch, judging other people for doing the things that they would not do themselves. I don't know if you know this quote, and I'm not going to really be quoting it the way it is. I'm just going to say it in my own way. I read it from Brené Brown book first. And it's not her quote, it's a quote from someone else, if you're not in the arena, if you're not out there in the arena, and what I mean by that is that if you're sitting on the bleachers watching the guys playing on the field and you're not on the field, you have nothing to say about the people on the field. Because what I found is that when you're in the arena and you're doing the thing, and you are basically feeling life the way life's supposed to be felt, that's living, but that is never comfortable. The guys and them that is out there doing the football, doing the this, doing half of the time, losing is never fun, but they out there doing it, and it's only one team that can win. But the fact that teams are out there doing it, for me, everybody is winners. For me, those people are winners. When I look at the Olympic, and you go to the Olympic, you work for years and years and years, and all of a sudden, you get called and you're in the Olympics, you're either swimming, you're running, you're skiing downhill, whatever you're doing. For me, the people that make it to the Olympics, they are winners. Because when you get in there, if there is five of you or 10 of you, only one person can actually get the goal. And for me, the fact that you make it to the Olympics, that's the goal. And I'm hoping that people that do make it in the Olympics see that as a goal, that making it there is a goal. It doesn't matter if you come first or second anymore, because getting into the Olympic is very challenging, it's very hard, it's uncomfortable, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of money spent over a number of years to get there. So for me, I like to live my life inside of the Olympics, so to speak, which is life. It doesn't mean that I have to be the top winner or the number one winner, but I'm here to tell you that you also is a winner as long as you are inside of the arena, as long as you're fighting for what you believe in, as long as you're working towards something that excites you, something that makes you really, really thrilled and feeling fabulous. You know, when my husband arrived, that's going to excite me. That's going to make me feel thrilled and fabulous. And maybe one day I'll tell you the whole story. And when he arrived, maybe I'll be able to show you this beautiful man. Anyways, yeah, you may be and you may have to start over, especially when you think you are supposed to be settled. Anyway, guys, subscribe to my channel, share my channel, like my channel, subscribe, because ultimately I'm going to take you guys with me to Grenada and we can settle there. I can see the snow is slowing down, so let me go and get ready. Have a good day. I love you guys, even if it's just you alone looking at me. I love you. This documentary, this kind of a documentary that I'm doing, I'm documenting my life. Because in 10 years, I want to look back and say, I did it. I create a video on these YouTube streets out here, and win or lose, I'm inside of the arena, so I'm already a winner. So anyway, do less and be more. Love you guys.